Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Sean here with Blueridge Collectibles. I want to thank each and every single one of you for joining in today. This is going to be a new one for a lot of you, okay? So this channel is new, okay? Nothing compared to my other channel. A lot of you actually know my other channel, Blueridge Silverhound. But Blueridge Collectibles, I've been just trying to think about exactly the best stuff to talk about, because obviously there is no shortage of Pokemon, there's no shortage of Magic the Gathering, there's no shortage of sports cards. Holy shit, that's right. So if you're a little sensitive to that type of sailor talk, then you're in the wrong place. Okay, we're gonna do it up raw style that only Blueridge knows how to. So obviously there is no shortage of any of these type of channels. You go all over the fucking internet, and then all you see is Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, sports cards, collectibles. Oh my god, it's all over the place, and it's like everybody's trying to carve out this giant hole for relevancy. I guess you could throw me into the mix. I'm not called Blueridge Collectibles for nothing. I've come to the conclusion that people have lost their heads. Why? Well, people haven't exactly been thinking really long and hard about how crazy and how expensive collectibles are today. Okay, so I guess we could all kind of look back as recently as when the country shut down because of COVID-19. Okay, call it for what it is. Let's say March. As a matter of fact, wasn't it the Jazz Thunder game that kind of changed things? All right, the whole Rudy Gobert microphone touching, and then a day later he got COVID. I mean, the just amazing twist of irony that comes with that event. All right, and then all of a sudden it ties into collectibles. It's just amazing. I thought people would be broke right now because a lot of people aren't working, or they're working from home, or they're ultra dependent on the stimulus check, or in this case, a stimulant check, if you know what I mean. But the market is just insane right now, okay? Especially those international, quote-unquote, driven type of sports, all right? I mean, we could talk about Pokemon and Magic the Gathering another time. I think Pokemon is the outlier. Magic's kind of, but they're kind of like under the radar in terms of their market share. And collectability, it's stupid. But if we looked at just the overall landscape of sports cards, okay, I would say from the top down, you have your huge kind of like international popularized sports, okay, basketball, and then you have soccer. I think they're kind of like hand in hand. It used to be that soccer was like all the way down here, but yet the international fanaticism of the sport was still at an all-time high. Have you gone to a La Liga League event or any one of those? I mean, it's insane. People all across the globe love their football, as opposed to NFL football, which is kind of like mid-pack. All right, and football, take it for what it is. It's one of those things that it's, you have your players that are going to be hot today, and then 3 years later on down the road, they're irrelevant, right? Am I right? I mean, look at guys like Marcus Mariota and Jameis Winston, and you might even throw Dak Prescott into the mix. These are guys that were all rookies back in 2015, 2016. 5 years later, some of them are out of the league, or they're relegated to being a backup role in, somewhere. So you have football. And then football is really, really, really dicey. I mean, it's really fucking hard to know whether or not certain football prospects are the thing, okay? I mean, this year, the whole league has been set on fire by the likes of Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert, and then all their cards skyrocket, and then now all of a sudden Tua Tagovailoa gets the start over Ryan Fitzpatrick, who, as far as raw numbers, Fitzpatrick plays a whole hell of a lot better than Tua. All right. And then you had Jalen Hurts, who takes over for the franchise man, Carson Wentz. And then there you go. I mean, there goes Mr. Franchise Man. Who knows where the hell he's going to end up with? A Panther or a Niner, or, whatever the case may be. So as you can see, football is very, very precarious. Okay, it's almost like dealing in penny stocks, because you dump a bunch of money in a penny stock and they're boom or bust. All right, and most often than not, you're going to end up with a company that's going to go into shit tank. All right, so yeah, the rewards can be there, but at the drop of a hat, some startup company in Silicon Valley went balls deep, and then they're gone. All right, and then there's baseball. Baseball has kind of like that American semi-international. They're not quite all the way there, but baseball, in terms of the hobby and collecting, has always been one of those things. Kind of like, hey, you know what? Good old reliable. But you know what? They're starting to shoot up in price too. As a matter of fact, we could thank companies like Topps, all right, releasing these ridiculous products like Transcendent Baseball. 20 grand for a box, albeit they do provide a whole heck of a lot more in terms of value back to its consumer. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen a box of $20,000 Topps Transcendent or Bowman Transcendent. You get almost even money for a lot of that stuff. And then there's cut autographs of deceased players. You get Babe Ruth. There's even dead presidents in there. I mean, as far as money, it's hard to go wrong with what Topps is putting out. But keep in mind, all of a sudden, it's getting very expensive, even for baseball, which I would say is kind of like on the lower tier of the affordability scale. You can also put like WNBA. Oh, by the way, there was a Prism WNBA that came out, over the summer. And then you have racing cards, and then you have comic cards, and you have all of kind of like this ground level, very supportive structure of inexpensive collectibles that are all of a sudden the cream is starting to rise to the top, and then now the prices are starting to get stupid. Okay, but the most egregious example in which a company has pretty much taken advantage of not only the popularity of their sport, all right, but because of the fact that the people all of a sudden, in the middle of a pandemic, have all this indispensable income, you could thank Panini America. And then the one product that came out that helped solidify exactly what the hell is going on is Flawless Basketball. That's right, Flawless Basketball, which I think came out 10 days ago. It was about a week and a half ago to this day. Flawless Basketball came out as a regular hobby box or briefcase. If you wanted to be a fucking fancy businessman carrying the thing around, you might as well. $6,500 coming out. Now that same product for one briefcase with like 10 cards, $9,000. Some people are charging as high as $10,000. And I have seen more of this product broken in the last week and a half than I want to, because quite frankly, it makes me want to vomit. I mean, the stuff is horrible in relation to the amount of money it's being sold for. Okay, so who's to blame here? Is it Panini America? Is it the distributors, or is it the dealers? Okay, who is really to blame for the huge MSRPs, even though, the main company doesn't tout a MSRP. Okay, that's all on the dealer end or the distributor end. $6,500 for a silly briefcase of cards with like 10 cards. I have probably seen maybe out of, I don't know how many cases I've seen ripped of this junk. I've seen probably maybe 25, 30 cases bust open on YouTube. Okay, I would say probably 95% of them don't even meet the original cost of the product. Okay, furthermore, I elected to go back and do a little bit more research. So I deep dive this thing like a motherfucker, went on eBay, come to find out that most of the cards, okay, sell for like $50 to $200. So let's say 8 of the 10 cards that you pull out of Flawless Basketball ends up recouping you back maybe $1,500 to $2,000. Okay, and that's before you get to the big hits, which there's no guarantee. I mean, some of them are freaking impressive. I got to see a Zion Williamson logo man pulled. Okay, it's the non-autograph version, but still, this is a card that's worth several $100,000, and it's a very much a chase card. Okay, that's the one exception to the rule. Okay, you end up paying $9,000 for a product to get a $200,000 card. Damn, that's where you want to be. But you got to consider the other 99% of the cases. God bless Steph Curry. Okay, I've seen more of his autographs pulled in the last 10 days than I have on all of the other products combined for a full year. And Steph Curry actually has a really good secondary market value. All right, but the fact that there's so many Steph Currys, there's so many Charles Barkleys out there. You know, you can even throw Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero is actually one of the main hits at the end because you get 2 encased cards, a diamond card and then another card that's like a rookie patch autograph, okay, probably 40-50% of the time, or a vet auto, okay, and Steph Curry is definitely one of the top guys that you want out of there. His cards are selling somewhere in that $2,500 to $3,500 range. All right, so let's say you pulled a really epic, you know, Steph Curry auto, along with all the other cards that you know are worth about $1,500. Okay, that does not equate to the $9,000 that person has paid for a briefcase box or attaché case or whatever the hell you want to call it. Okay. So, this is obviously a lottery product. It's because of Flawless Basketball, and I think it says a lot when a product comes out that is so stupidly expensive. $6,000, $6,500 was the average at release, and then now 10 days later, the briefcases, because there's 2 briefcases in a full master case. A single briefcase is now $9,000 to $10,000. But the value of the cards haven't changed on the inside. That's the crazy thing. So there's very few cards. There's very few cards that I would say will recoup all your money. Some crazy Zion Williamson rookie patch autograph or a John Morant. I haven't really looked at Tyler Hero, but I think he's kind of like your break-even card in this particular case. But I've looked on eBay, and when you spend $9,000 on a product, and you come away with a huge hit, but it only accounts for about 2 to 3 times the cost of the product, that's a huge problem. I think people need to do more research before they dump money into the product and see exactly what you intend to get back. Okay, what do you call it? The expected value, I suppose, because it's a lot different in sports cards in relation to collectible cards like Pokemon and Magic the Gathering, where you're expected X amount of value per box rip. Okay, and oftentimes it's not gonna. There's no break-even point. Okay, you're gonna finish just under that. But with basketball, you either make all the money and then some, you know, to where you can't even retire off of a $30,000 Zion Williamson RPA. You can't. But hey, congratulations. You have made about 4 times the amount of money than the cost of the briefcase, which just seems silly to me because, you know, back in the day, and when I mean back in the day, we're talking just immediate past, like 5 years ago. Let's use 5 years ago as an example. 5 years ago, you used to be able to open up a box of Prism basketball. Okay, so what's the best case scenario? Well, first of all, you have paid about $100 for a brand new hobby box of NBA Prism basketball in 2015-16, $100. All right, so you end up with this just sweet hit. You know, whatever the big autograph or the big kind of like chase parallel, okay, because some of the parallels are numbered. They're numbered really low, like the golds and the gold vinyls and all that stuff. So you turn around and then you grade this card or you sell it as is, but you could sell a card that you got from a $100 box of Prism for $5,000. That's 50 times. Is it 50? I don't know. It's a lot more. It's 50 times the amount of money that you've spent on the box. Whereas in Flawless, some of your best hits barely guarantee you 3 to 4 times what you paid for the briefcase. That's a huge problem. There's the outlier again, the Logo Mans, with the Jump Man and all that stuff that's on there. One of ones that command $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. The Zion Williamson RPA has an initial estimate, and it hasn't even been pulled yet, of $750,000. That's the big chase card. But does it justify pricing out on an average these Flawless briefcases at $6,500? Well, I can tell you this one thing. The reason why that these briefcases have hit $9,000 to $10,000. Okay, don't let me get started with first off the line. Okay, that's a completely different animal. Those briefcases are like $15,000, $16,000 with one more guaranteed hit. The only thing that's buoying this is the actual value of the sealed product. Okay, so when it's $9,000, $10,000, okay, obviously you're buying it and you're holding on and you're sitting on it. Okay, you're not opening up that product at that price point if most of the time you're going to get back 40 to 60% of the value of what you paid. So that's Flawless. I probably have talked at a greater length about Flawless basketball than what I should. Okay, so here's the segue into just the most amazing slap in the face with like a cold, wet hand that you could possibly ever think of. And that's going to be the upcoming release of the 2019-20 Eminence basketball by guess who? Panini America, right? With a price ticket tag of $30,000 to $40,000 at release. Now that's a hell of a range, right? $30,000 to $40,000 for a handful of cards. But we could honestly say and look back, you're like, okay, if I'm going to open up Eminence, what does it guarantee me? Well, first of all, there's probably no Kobe Bryant rookie autograph cards in there. Because that man passed away almost a year ago. Okay, God bless his soul, but he is not signing anymore. So his cards have jumped up quite a bit, but it doesn't account for the value of Eminence basketball. Okay, so Flawless is usually the gold standard of the RPA. Well, actually, National Treasures is. Flawless is just an up-brand of it. What is Eminence in all of this? Is it just it's existed before in the past, but now today, with this hot rookie class from 2019-20, is it just a figment of rich people's imagination? Is it going to be something that every now I can honestly say it's a celebrity hobby, right? When you have all of these big time celebrities and artists and sports stars going and paying just money hand over fist for the Panini product, which obviously is custom tailored for them. I find it hard to believe that an Eminence RPA of Zion Williamson is ever going to reach a National Treasures Logo Man or an RPA or a Flawless RPA or a Logo Man, because those are the benchmarks. So where exactly does fucking Eminence sit, right? With a price tag of $30,000 to $40,000, wouldn't you rather go out and buy yourself a brand new BMW 3 Series? I mean, that's how much the fucking product is worth. I don't know. I would get all sorts of more satisfaction driving a high-end car, or say a European import or something like that than buying this stuff. Okay, because I'm smelling a fucking dumpster fire with this stuff, because you spend $30,000, $40,000 and you end up recouping barely $10,000. I can see it. So I don't know why this product even exists in a landscape of sports cards. But I wanted to take some time to talk about Eminence basketball, which is just around the corner. I mean, Panini America is milking the dog shit out of the 2019-20 NBA class. Now, obviously there's some fool's gold involved. Okay, we have a brand new draft class. Okay, with LaMelo Ball, James Wiseman, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, who apparently is a fucking steal for the Kings. And he's been playing like he's going to be the rookie of the year. I mean, this is like 5 games in. But we have a brand new 2021 draft class. Do you think the product that Panini America is going to push out for this draft class is going to be a ton more cheaper? Because in hindsight, it really is a little bit weaker class than it has been the last 2 years. I mean, you can't beat the draft class with Trae Young and Luka Doncic. And then last year, you had Zion and John Morant. I mean, you can't beat that shit with a fucking stick. All right, and then the expectation level is like Panini is going to shovel all these products at these price points and say keep going up. And then you hit 2021 with this draft class who is pretty good, but it's not last 2 years good. So, I don't know. I wanted to air out some dirty laundry in relation to Flawless and Eminence. I personally, if you had the money, I would do a little bit more research, especially on the Eminence end of things. Is it worth the fucking money to spend $30,000 to $40,000 on a product that won't guarantee and deliver the goods that a Flawless basketball will? And even still, Flawless basketball has probably reached a price level that is so far out of the stratosphere, it's not even funny. So yes, the company has custom to all of a sudden we went to a company that is Coca-Cola and McDonald's, and then now all of a sudden they're serving up Michael Kors and Coach and Lamborghinis and all that stuff. It's because, you know, they adapted with the marketplace. I mean, if you look at it, it costs barely anything to print cards, right? It's a drop in the bucket. You can use some specialized stock for your product. It won't cost as much as what you're selling the product for. They are producing a money factory. They have printing plates for cash. You don't know it yet. And a lot of people are going to be upset. So where does that leave you guys? Are you in for Eminence or more Flawless basketball? Crazy. But anyways, I'm going to go enjoy my overpriced $400 Obsidian football box, which apparently I've only recouped back $150 worth. That's where we're at, ladies and gentlemen, is that there are no guarantees. Everything gets milked for what it's worth. The country, I would say, you know, seems like there's not a lot of money, but the stimulus money has injected a lot of money into collectibles. Okay, a lot of people that got the stimulus checks really did not need it. So a lot of this money went back into collectibles. They went back into savings and investing and all that great stuff, you know. They're launching their OnlyFans account. I don't know. But, you know, that's what it's going to be. You're going to have to launch an OnlyFans account, and you better show some skin if you want to order some of this new basketball product. And I'm willing to bet that it's not going to end. I mean, if you look at NFL next year, God bless you guys. We're going to have Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and a whole shitload of high-talented guys, studs, that are going to come out in the NFL that may or may not be around in 5 years. I mean, look at Joe Burrow. He got his shit knocked out, and now he's on the fence with a debilitating injury that's going to take like 9 to 12 months to heal. We'll see. But he was the big prospect, okay? Justin Herbert looks phenomenal. And I have no doubt that these other guys are going to look good too. But, you know, it's going to be the companies, the manufacturers of the cards that are going to continue to milk this home. And they're going to keep raising the prices on product, even though it's a subpar draft class, or maybe it's an overachieving draft class. They realize it and they're selling it. No, they're not selling at rock bottom, guys. They are selling it for a ton of money to the distributors and direct to dealers. That's what they do. They're not a non-profit organization. I'm your host, Sean, with Blueridge Silverhound and Blueridge Collectibles. Thank you for joining in on this short video that is apparently 25 minutes long, probably longer than it needs to be. Thank you guys for checking it out. Enjoy your day, and don't touch that 401k. All right, I'll see you guys later.